Hello. Today we will be talking about basketball. Yes, basketball. So, I don't really have a script for this. I'm just going to go off topics in my head because I like basketball, so we're going to talk about it because, yeah, why not? So, let's talk about the Suns first. The Suns are on a 7-game winning streak and have almost made the playoffs because of it. When they came in, a lot of people were saying, why are we including the Suns? Because, they almost had no chance of making the playoffs, except to win all games, which they have done so far. So, they will, if the Blazers lose one more game and they win, not the Blazers, the Grizzlies lose one more game, and the Suns win, then they are in the play-in tournament against the Blazers. And also, the Grizzlies are the 9th seed now, and the Blazers have taken the 8th seed. So unless they lose, then they are probably going to be in the play-in tournament. And currently, also, the Celtics are locked in on facing the 76ers because the Pacers beat the Rockets without pretty much everyone. They had barely any players, and they still beat the Rockets. And the Rockets are locked into 4th seed and 5th seed game. So pretty much the standings are decided out east. And in West, it's pretty much only the 8th seed that's still up for decision. And maybe the 4th, 5, and 6 could switch a bit. But probably not that much. So, I also want to talk about the Pelicans, who've looked trash in the bubble. They've played absolutely terrible. Zion's basically resting. Yeah, Zion's resting. Zion's a young player, and he's resting. So, yeah, they've looked terrible inside the bubble. And the Grizzlies only won one game, which is why they fell to the 9th seed. And the Kings did nothing. Also, the Lakers also look trash. The Lakers are trash right now. They won, their last game, but still, they've looked trash in the bubble. And it seems like Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo actually impacted them a lot because Avery Bradley obviously opted out and Rajon Rondo broke his thumb. So, yeah, it impacted them a lot apparently because they're kind of trash. And also, are we seeing the beginning of LeBron's regression? Because LeBron's actually been he's still good. He's still an all-star, but he's not top 3 player in the league in the bubble. There's been many better players than him in the bubble so far. So is this the start of his regression? I don't know, because LeBron's been good for a long time. So yeah. And also the Blazers, if you think about it, if the Lakers are slumping, the Blazers could come in and beat them. Yeah, the 8th seed could beat the 1 seed because the Blazers are no normal 8th seed. There are lots of people that had injuries and now they're back, like Yusuf Nurkic and Collins, and then so they could beat them realistically because the Blazers have been playing out of their mind, along with Damian Lillard, who dropped 61, tying his career high. So yeah, so that if you say I have a hot take, that's my hot take. That the Trailblazers have a very good chance of beating the Lakers if the Lakers continue slumping, and I would pick the Blazers in 7 if the Lakers slump. And realistically, if the Blazers continue playing as well as they can, I can see them in the conference finals. So, yeah. If they, of course, hold on to a playoff spot, then, there's no point. And the Wizards have lost all their games, but they have a chance because the Celtics basically are resting everyone. They're resting Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, Daniel Tice, Gordon Hayward, and Marcus Smart. So the Wizards actually might win their first game. Currently, they came into the bubble as the 9th seed. Now they're the 11th seed. Almost a 12th seed. So, yeah. Yeah, it's gone bad for the Wizards. Especially their, 2 best players were out because one opted out and Bradley Beal got injured. So, yeah, they had, no chance. And also, going back to the Pelicans, Alvin Gentry's a terrible coach. He's been coaching terrible. Also, another team I wanted to talk about, which is the Denver Nuggets, because the Denver Nuggets have been super good, and they also seem like they have some up and coming players too. Well, you could still say Jokic and Jamal Murray are still up and coming because they're pretty young, but yeah, Michael Porter Jr. in the bubble with more playing time has exploded. He still needs to work on defense a bit, but he's exploded. He's playing really well currently on offense, and he shows chemistry with Nikola Jokic. And also Bol, he got slept on so much because of some injuries and stuff, and he fell so far. And yep, and Bol was chosen by the Nuggets, and it looks like a great draft pick, and Bol is going to be great. And also the thing is, they might keep Porter Jr. or Bol, but they might also trade them away for another superstar. Like they could throw in one of those pieces in a Bradley Beal trade, for example, or some other star. And in the past, few years, the Denver Nuggets have been, drafting great. The only two things that you could say the Denver Nuggets haven't drafted well is trading away Donovan Mitchell after drafting him and trading away Rudy Gobert. Yeah, the Denver Nuggets basically had the Utah Jazz's two best players, and they both traded them both away to the Utah Jazz. So yeah, that's the only thing. But currently, as I'm checking the standings, they sit as the third seed. They're locked into the third seed too. There's no advancing or falling now. And yeah, so they're locked in the third seed. I'll just say the standings real quick. For the Eastern Conference, is the Bucks at 1, the Raptors at 2, the Celtics at 3, the Heat at 4, the Pacers at 5, the 76ers at 6, the Nets at 7, and the Magic are at 8. And in the Western Conference, the Lakers are first, which they've clinched, of course. And then the Clippers, then the Nuggets at 3, then the Rockets at 4. And this is where it could change a bit. But the Thunder at 5, the Jazz at 6, Mavericks at 7, and Trailblazers at 8. But, the number 9 seed Grizzlies and the number 10 seed Suns have a very good chance of still making the playoffs. So, yeah. Also, I want to talk about if the current standings hold in the Western Conference, then that would be an amazing matchup at the 4 and 5 seed between the Rockets and the Thunder. The Thunder trade away their franchise player in Russell Westbrook to the Rockets, and in return got CP3. That didn't seem like that good of a deal back then, but now they have tons of picks from trading away Paul George and Russell Westbrook, and that's basically now they have tons of picks, and they're still pretty decent. If the Thunder can somehow beat the Rockets, that's just going to be impressive, and the Rockets might need to blow it up and stop playing small ball if that happens, because I can see Steven Adams playing really well because they have no center. So, yeah. And, okay, and also, for my title contenders, I'm a Celtics fan, so I would obviously say Celtics, but, number 1, I see it being Bucks Clippers in the NBA Finals, but the dark horse team is the Celtics to make it all the way and win it. And I see if it's the Bucks and Clippers, I see the Clippers winning it personally. And I feel like if the Clippers also best chance to win it this year rather than another year, I feel like this year's their best chance. And plus, yeah. And the thing with the Lakers, too, the only reason they won, last game is because of Kuzma's game winner. The Lakers are really slumping right now. But the thing is, the Rockets are slumping, too, a bit, and the Jazz are slumping because they have a 3-game losing streak, so, yeah, it's kind of. And the Trailblazers and Suns have obviously been awesome so far in the bubble, and TJ Warren, the bubble god himself, the bubble MJ, he's been amazing. And there was a meme going around about the Sun GM just thinking about TJ Warren after he traded him away for absolutely nothing, for cash considerations, trading with TJ Warren. Yeah, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Trading away TJ Warren for cash considerations. But the Suns are still. And also, Kelly Oubre is currently injured, and the Suns are starting Mikal Bridges. And they've been playing really well, obviously, 7-game win streak. So, they have to consider, are they just going to keep Mikal Bridges in starting lineup and trade away Kelly Oubre or something? Or are they going to put Kelly Oubre back in the starting lineup? Because that's a decision they have to make. Because they've been playing amazing with Mikal Bridges in the starting lineup. And, yeah, that's pretty much. Is there anything else I want to talk about today? Let me think about it. I don't think there's much else I want to talk about. Is there? I don't think there's much. I think that's going to be it for me rambling about basketball for today. And I might make another video later in this series. I might just make this a series about rambling about basketball. It's probably going to be when the playoffs start and a playoff prediction bracket. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And, oh, yeah, one more thing. The 76ers are trash. That's all I have to say, and that's it. Bye. Subscribe.